Alrighty, um, we are gonna do a quick little end of day, right? Just to get back into the groove of things, right? Just to get back into the groove of things and start the week off on a positive note, right? Um, Not much has happened since on Friday. We did have huge USD news. It just sold off on a bunch of markets, right? Mainly the ones that I am focusing on. So USD CAD on the 4 hour is still bullish, right? But we are in the pullback phase as of now. And so the M15 has switched bearish, but the antenna is bullish, right? Maybe to cover this what is this fair value gap, right? Even though I don't focus on like fair value gaps and all that, but you do find that when the market drops like very seriously like this, it tends to cover that and then keep going in the initial direction. But for now, internal is bullish and the the trend is bearish, right? The swing is bearish. So we would expect that the 15-minute will switch bearish, right, as it has here to facilitate the 4 hour pullback, and then maybe at some point the 4 hour swing holds and we do end up having a 4 hour pullback up. And then moving on to GBP USD, you don't have much of a difference, right? In terms of a huge bullish move on Friday, but the overall swing for the 4 hour is bearish, right? We've had this pullback in, and then now we'll see if we do get the next swing leg going down, since we did have an internal break of structure right there, pull back, and then do we get the selling off right there is the question. And so for more confirmation, we'd obviously wait for this new swing low here to break. We'll wait for this new swing low to break. 15-minute swing low. We'll wait for the swing low to break, and then it would be confirmation for the pullback beginning on the 4 hour, right? Not the pullback, the swing run, like continuing on the 4 hour. But in terms of today, we did break down, like this was an internal IBOS right after London. During New York, we had the pullback into this M15 and then we sold off. So you would expect it to continue in this sort of fashion where it comes up into there and then continues down. But remember, sales become low probability the more you come into the swing low, and then eventually maybe we see the break like that. And then Euro USD on the 4 hour is pretty much range bound. It's been range bound for a few weeks now, almost basically the whole of August. From like the 6th of August, we've just been between this high and this low here, just sweeping it and then sweeping it again down here. So it does make things a bit tricky, whereby you do want to buy within the extreme of the range and sell within the extreme of the range as well. not really participating in the middle. But overall we do have a bearish swing, right? Internal is obviously bullish for now, and we will have to see this internal low go, this one here, before we start thinking about, I made the mistake of making it M50 internal low when it is in fact the 4-hour internal low. We would want to see this internal low go as confirmation that the 4-hour swing pullback is done, and then the swing run might continue. Same as on the M15, we want to see this logo, which would also be part of the internal, and then that would be confirmation for a 4-hour pullback. So that's basically what we would like to see. And in terms of today, it did have it swing the Asian, sweep the Asian high, right? A good close below here, pull back in, and then sold off. Clean price action over there, no complaints. Now we are within the 4-hour. Do we expect a reaction of sorts? But expectations are for this not to hold and continue going down. And then last but not least is Euro JPY. And though this is also pretty range bound, not the best in terms of price, because look at how large the swing on the F50-minute is. Crazy big swing structure, which is why it's better to focus on this internal right here. The internal moves are actually big enough to be swing moves, but it doesn't really matter how you name them as long as you just understand, like in terms of focusing on the immediate price action on what's happening on a day-to-day. And on a day-to-day, it's better to focus on this internal structure for Euro JPY. And then the internal just turned bearish there, so obviously would expect to start looking for sells, right? Also, we did come into like the extreme of the M15 swing, right? So it's probably decent to think that we might have a bit more selling, and so also the internal switching bearish does help with that. So we'll probably still continue looking for sells on that. And in terms of today, I don't think there was any real opportunity, because here I would have had to have the close below before looking for the sells there, and without that I would consider it iffy and not want to be involved. So yeah, I think this is okay to just get back into the groove of things and then take it from there and see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, peace.